Be sure to subscribe for more content. What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the BigBC Finance Channel, and I hope you're having a very lovely day today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about Dogecoin, what has happened to it recently, and where we predict the price to go to in the near future, as well as some key price levels and some trades I'm looking to make. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. And of course, if you do appreciate the daily analysis on this channel and you're one of the 88% of people that watch my videos and are not yet subscribed, and you do like this content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. So without further ado, let's talk about Dogecoin and what has happened. Let's get those annotations back on the screen here. And basically, we're in quite a nice area for Dogecoin. The first thing, of course, that we always check is just the general cryptocurrency market. And what you'll notice is that everything here is red. So Bitcoin, the leading cryptocurrency, is down 1.22%. Ethereum down a little bit more. And the rest of cryptocurrencies are down by varying amounts here. Matic down by 10% as the biggest crypto that is down at the moment. But of course, as you'll see, Dogecoin is the only one that's clearly in the green. We've got Luna 2.0 here at a 0.7% gain, but Dogecoin at 7%. So clearly leading all the top cryptocurrencies out here. Of course, the reason being quite possibly was down to Elon Musk saying Dogecoin to the moon on a Twitter Spaces. So that happened, and literally we've seen the price do this as a result. So basically we had Elon Musk reaffirming his support for Dogecoin, and the crowd loved it. So we've seen prices go from a low here of 7.8 cents just a bit earlier this weekend to our high of 9.4 cents. Really great stuff, and that's pushed us into a really nice area here on Dogecoin. We've crushed one of the bearish resistances here on Dogecoin. So as you can see, we've had this purple line going down. Several areas where this purple line had been tested. I'm just going to mark them all on screen. And what you'll see is that it's been tested at least 4 times in the past here. So quite a reliable downwards trend line here that we had. And finally, the price crossed it with some momentum. So we do know that this was a real trend line for Dogecoin, and a boss that the price has defeated. And now, of course, the best thing about this is the price actually went up to this level, came back down to test it. So this, so this bearish trend line was used as a support for Dogecoin, and Dogecoin A was able to springboard off of this trend line here. So really great stuff. Shows us that this trend line was very respected. And of course, more bullish news as well, because we've crossed this 100-hour moving average, the line in blue here. And of course, if you look at Dogecoin's past, this 100-hour moving average has been a really good determinant of the trend here on Dogecoin. So basically, when the price is above the 100-hour moving average, above this blue line here, then we are basically in a bullish trend. We can say we're in a bullish trend on Dogecoin. But if we're below, typically the price has been in this bearish trend. So the 100-hour moving average has done well to dictate the trend here on Dogecoin, and the fact that the price has flipped it once, it's come back down to test it, and if we can keep above the blue line, it could tell us that we could be heading in a much more bullish direction here on Dogecoin, and we could be heading back into double digits, 10 cents and above, which would be pretty awesome. Now, our final bust here, which I still stand by, is this yellow line that we've got here on Dogecoin, and this here is our longer term resistance. Again, it's kind of held the price down in this downwards direction ever since the start of November from its local high at 16 cents, and it's just been pushing the price of Dogecoin down. And of course, price is nearing it now, so it'll be super interesting to see what happens in this region. So what I believe will happen next is something like this. So if I just draw a trend line going across like this is probably why we saw resistance in this region. I'm going to give that a gray because it's not as trend line as such, but as an area of resistance that we've seen as a support twice here on the way down, and now the price has basically come up to test it and bounce off. So this is why we saw the price not getting any further than around 9.5 cents here on Dogecoin. We have this trend line that we do need to break above, so price needs to do something like this. We need to springboard off that 100-hour moving average in order to go above this line, and then if we can break through this resistance that we have here, then I would expect another resistance probably at around this level here. And that level is at around the 11 cents mark. Of course, this is not going to be completely perfect. So if we do break through these trend lines here, then I would expect the price to get somewhere around this region, maybe slightly higher, maybe slightly lower. But what I expect to see happen is if we're able to continue going upwards, break this 9.5 cents mark and continue going up to this yellow trend line, and of course we still got the momentum, we still got the volume, then I expect the price to be able not that way. I expect the price to be able to break through this, maybe a quick retest, and we could be heading to 11 cents as our next target. So of course, this is if Dogecoin is able to continue in this bullish direction. Of course, we need to see some more bullish momentum here on Dogecoin. We need to see this 100-hour moving average completely cleared. So if it's going like this, we need to see the price stay well above it. And we need to see these two trend lines, this one in gray and this one in yellow crossed. And at any point, Dogecoin could obviously reject it and head in a more bearish direction. And if that does occur, And if it does, then we could see the price do something like this, where Dogecoin goes in slightly bearish trend, kind of sideways, but just follows this purple line down until it's ready to try and hack those trend lines again. So that's what happens if we aren't able to cross these trend lines. We just bounce off of it and we would continue to head in somewhat of a downwards direction over the longer term. Of course, Bitcoin will have an impact as to the direction of Doge. So basically, if Bitcoin makes a bullish move or a bearish move, or if it starts following a new trend in a bullish or bearish direction, chances are we'll see that same bias here on Dogecoin. So if Bitcoin makes a bullish move, then we should see a bullish bias here on Dogecoin's price as well. But at the same time, if we see a bearish move in Bitcoin, then we should see that in Dogecoin as well. So of course, we want to check what the Bitcoin is doing right now. And you can see that things are moving very, very sideways here for Bitcoin. It's eerily calm in the sense that, we've come down very, very steep. We've shot up quite quickly. We had this nice rebound. Prices come down and we're kind of in some sort of clear consolidation that looks like this. Now we can draw some sort of triangle that looks like this on Bitcoin. Not a very clear triangle, but it looks like we're just consolidating in three trend lines that look like this. And in fact, just looking at the chart right now, it looks like it's starting to break out. But basically, the point still stands is that we're kind of going in a sideways direction here. Price is getting less and less volatile, evidenced by this declining volume over time. And of course, there should be a large breakout after a period of consolidation like this. When price consolidates, it's like a calm before a storm. So basically, if we do see a trend line break, at the moment it's kind of difficult because we don't have a clear resistance here on Bitcoin. We've basically got this one at the moment that I've drawn. That's been tested twice, so not very reliable, but nonetheless, if we do get a bullish move here on Bitcoin, if this is a triangle and we do break out on the upside, for example, like it looks like it's starting to, then on Dogecoin, we should see a bullish bias here. We should be able to see Dogecoin really hack at these resistance levels. So the one I've drawn here in gray at 9.5 cents, and this line, this yellow line that we have here at around 9.8, 9.9 cents. And of course, if we can break through that, that should add some more momentum for Dogecoin price to go higher. So again, price target at 11 cents. But of course, if Bitcoin does break down from a triangle after that period of consolidation that we're seeing here, and we head back down to lows in the 15,000s, for example, then of course with Dogecoin, that's going to add this bearish bias, and that's just going to add more weight to the idea of Dogecoin doing something like this on the way down. And additionally, we want to look for chart patterns here on Dogecoin. We want to see, and additionally, I'm looking for chart patterns on Dogecoin as always. And the most convincing chart pattern that we could potentially be seeing is something that looks like this. Now, this is actually a rising wedge. This is something that is bearish. So if this chart pattern does play out, this could be a very bearish chart pattern. And of course, chart patterns are not perfect, but if this does play out, I'm going to give you the price target anyway, just to show you so that you know what to expect if it does happen. And say, let's say we break out below this rising wedge. So we do something like this, where the price starts to go down, like this, and all of a sudden we see the support no longer hold the price, and then the price crashes below with a lot of volume and momentum. Basically, the price target will take us down to 6.4 cents, 6.5 cents here, if this is a rising wedge indeed. Now, of course, quite an ambitious price target, and since it's quite a distance away, it won't be one straight drop. It will probably go in stages like this, but if it is completed, that would be the price target, 6.4, 6.5 cents here on the Dogecoin price. So this is one chart pattern that I'm seeing. Again, like I say, chart patterns are not perfect, so this is by no means saying that I'm bearish here on Dogecoin, but we could draw a price pattern that looks like this, which is this rising wedge here. So that's one thing I am observing now on Dogecoin. Of course, the second chart pattern I want to show you, which is a much more bullish one here on Dogecoin, is something that looks like this. And this second chart pattern is a double bottom. So of course, a double bottom is where the price touches a trend line twice with two similarly sized peaks like this, and of course we get a neckline from a double bottom. Now, what's interesting about this is that it is a trend reversal pattern, and of course the trend reversal pattern would add evidence to the fact that we could be heading in a new trend. And so far we have the fact that we've crossed the 50 and the 100-hour moving average, and this bearish trend line that we've had for about a week here on Dogecoin. So if we're able to break through this yellow trend line as well, that's another piece of evidence that tells us that we could be heading in a change of direction here on Dogecoin. So from this bearish direction to this more bullish direction. Now, the fact that we could be seeing a double bottom could add to the fact that we're seeing this change of trend. And if we are seeing this change of trend, then we could be seeing this as a price target. So the distance between the neckline, which is this gray line going up, and this trend line that connects the two bottoms down there. And of course, if we do break out of this trend line, this gray one that we have going up, then we should see a price target of 12.7 cents. Now, of course, Again, it's very ambitious, so I don't expect to get there in one go, but that's just to show you if this is a double bottom that is completed. If we're able to break through the trend line, this yellow trend line here, then that would confirm it for me and would be looking at potentially a price target of 12.7 cents. So very bullish stuff if this really does play out. But in order for that double bottom to play out, like I say, we need to cross this trend line in gray that we have here and this yellow trend line as well. If we do that and we see increase in volume as we come out of here like this, then we could definitely be seeing this double bottom in play and that change of trend. Now finally, we want to check what our trusty indicators are saying, the MACD and the RSI, and this will tell us where the momentum is. And so far it's looking good. Obviously, this increase in price that we've seen very recently over the few hours has been supported by upwards momentum, meaning that people are actually buying into Dogecoin and pushing the prices up. So not some sort of fake pump. So prices on the MACD line is above the halfway line there, and the RSI in over 50 there at 61. So things looking good on the RSI and the MACD, things looking quite bullish. Of course, MACD also supports this upwards trend in price as well, with a bullish trend line that connects the lows there on the MACD line. So that's a very, very good sign. And again, with the RSI, we can connect the lows of the RSI, and what we get is a bullish trend line. Not so bullish on the RSI as the MACD, but still in the upwards direction. So if we do see prices go down like this, for example, and we see the MACD line break through this trend line to the downside, this would also support our theory that this is not a change of trend. We've lost this bullish trend line on the MACD as we are seeing prices head down on Dogecoin, for example, and this kind of invalidates the potential for Dogecoin to hit 11 cents anytime soon, or even 12.7 cents as indicated by that chart pattern there. So this is something I'm looking for as well, these trend lines here on the MACD and the RSI. If the MACD line breaks below that trend line, it just adds weight to the fact that a bullish breakout for Dogecoin is going to be less possible than it was if the MACD continued to head up in the upwards direction and follow this trend line up. So keeping my eye on the MACD and the RSI there as well. And on top of everything, just looking for more tradable signals that can give us a clue as to where the price will go. I've shown you that rising wedge here, which has a bearish implication of 6.4 to 6.5 cents on Dogecoin. And I've shown you that double bottom that could potentially be forming, that if we get to this price level here at 9.8 cents and cross this resistance here that we have in gray, then we could be able to hit 12.7 cents on Dogecoin. And finally, if we do see prices continue to rise, I will be taking quite a bit of profits out at this 11 cents, as I've identified this region here as quite a strong resistance. So I do think there's going to be some resistance if the prices head this high. So this will be a good partial take profit region before, in the case that the price does get to this region. And if it is able to continue going, then like I say, 12.7 cents is on the cards. So this is kind of what I'm looking for in Dogecoin. And that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. That's my technical analysis here on Dogecoin. Do let me know in the comments if you do have any questions. Do let me know in the comments down below whether you are holding any Dogecoin. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching these videos, and I'll see you in my next.